Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka man of the people, working for you all, and I love doing it. Hey, I want you all to feel like you have a friend in the media, which is myself, my co-host Andre Cassidy, which I'm just going to say up front. He's not with us tonight. I'm a little sad. Nothing's wrong. He just wasn't able to make it with his schedule tonight. But definitely give him some shout outs in the comments. He's a growing part of this company and wanted to be here, but unfortunately he could not be. So tonight is what we normally do each and every week after a game. So just remember, all season long, whether this game is on a Sunday, Monday, Thursday, the next evening we will go live 100% for the purpose of getting you guys answering questions and comments from you, like an interactive thing. So I really want everybody to get used to that. In just a second, I'm going to pin in the comments a way for you to click on a link, come on the show, and ask me your questions or say your comments, just vent, whatever it may be, right? I want to be here for you. And also, we have the ability to join the channel that is now live. It's $3.99 per month. It's called our supporter level because we need to support independent media. So anyone that can do that, please consider doing so. We do have 2 new members that I am going to welcome. Let me see if I can quickly get that up. And by the way, I'm going to say this. Your boy's a little tired from everything with going down to Atlanta and coming back. So please forgive me with any things that may be not as quick as I would like it to be, because I honestly didn't have time to get everything together. But we're still going to do this show and have some fun with it. So, all right, so the new members. Peter Gratal, hopefully I said that name correct. Appreciate you joining. And then Noah Sparks. Both of these people joined yesterday, so I appreciate you very much. Anybody that joins, you'll see they have a special badge by their name in the comments. And so what we do naturally is give those people a little extra attention if they have some comments. We're going to make sure that we always get to the comments from our members. And also, anyone that's a member, we will follow you back on social media if we have not already done so. And other little things that we may do. So that's cool. And also, let me share something else with you guys. All right, this is really I'm gonna wait until maybe 10 minutes into the show, and I'll go over some big news that I have for you guys. So I see some comments are coming, the likes are coming. So yeah, just get in the habit. As soon as you see the video, come on, hit the like button. It'll help other Carolina Panther fans find out about the channel. Really appreciate it if you did that. So, preference is also given to those who click on the link, which I have yet to pin. So let me just go ahead and get ready to do that really quick. Sorry about that. All right, so give me just a second. I'm going to pin this comment. Getting close, getting close, getting close. I got a sneeze that's about to come on. Excuse. My apologies. I would have hit the mute button, but I was trying to get this screen over here going. Next time, I promise I will hit the mute button, because when I sneeze like 5 times. So here we go, hitting the mute button. Sorry about that. So let me go ahead and pin this in the comments. I don't want to spell questions, comments incorrectly. So I got that going. And now it is pinned in the comments. There we go. But don't come on yet. I need another minute, but I just pinned it in the comments. So that'll be how you can join us live, whether it's on your phone, your computer, whatever device is connected to the internet with a camera. You can join us, and I hope that you all come on, come on a lot. Okay, so here we go. Losing my spot. Trying to think of what order I was getting some stuff together right before I came on. I just want to make sure I go in the order of things that I want to go through. So I honestly forget what I was saying before that rash of sneezes came. But let me go ahead and go over a few things with you all. let's start off with the big thing of the transactions that this team has made since we last spoke. So let me see if I can get this in front of me. Let's try this again. I'm gonna download this. Carolina Panthers did have some transactions today. Actually had quite a few transactions. And we're going to put them on the screen and go over them here. All right, so current transactions for the Carolina Panthers that were all made today. We signed inside linebacker Deion Jones to the practice squad. He has had some time with the Carolina Panthers. We signed defensive end Chris Wormley to the practice squad. C-Dog, I'm going to let you on here, but you're going to have to wait a minute if you don't mind waiting, or if you want to call back in a second. But I'm going to let people start calling in about 5 minutes or so. So again, you're welcome to kind of sit there in the green room, or you can call back in a second. But I do see you on here, so appreciate you. We also released defensive lineman Taylor Stallworth from the practice squad. We signed cornerback DiCaprio Boutou, I hope that's the way you say his name, to the practice squad. And then we also signed tackle David Sharp to the active roster from the practice squad. So now our practice squad is full. We had not had a full practice squad. We now have the full allotment of 16 on the practice squad. So those are the transactions that took place today. All right, going to continue to move on through some things here, getting you guys up to date. And I'm going to go quick because the purpose of this show is not for me to talk, it's to interact with you guys. I got my man C-Dog that's hanging out in the green room. I hope he comes on with some PG-13 at the most is what I'm going to allow you to get to, C-Dog. And I want everybody else to come on and get used to it, because we're going to do this every day after the game. And Andre and I did it a little bit yesterday post-game. So we want to be more interactive, right? How many media out there can you listen to their show and actually interact with them during their show? It's only on radio, so we're doing it on YouTube, on live TV, and hope that everybody enjoys it. So since I already got some callers, let me drink my water. I thought I had drank enough water, but obviously I did not. I got to put this comment up there from Silver Black. Do you have allergies or something? Yeah, or something, man. It's now normally when the spring hits, I do sneeze a lot, but for the past month, I have been sneezing, and especially like if I rub my nose, I guess it like stirs up whatever's going on in there, and I'll sneeze 3, 4, even 5 times. So it happens. All right, I want to go over some snap counts, which I did not have a chance to get a graphic for, so I'm just going to go over it with you here. With the rookies is all I was focusing on, because this weekend on our pregame show, and our pregame show this Sunday was crazy. We had, I think, almost 350 people watching at once, which is the most we've had. And we really appreciate Andre and I put a lot of time into that pregame show. We had a lot of interviews, had over 10 interviews from players that we put in there. We did it live from the field, which was fun, also hectic. So thank you all for everybody that tuned in this past Saturday for that pregame show. And hopefully we'll have you back for our pregame show Monday night coming up. As always, we have a special guest. Rashad from Panther Nation Podcast typically joins us on that Monday night show. So it'll be a 3-person panel for our home shows, home games. So set your alerts, subscribe to the channel, etc. So let me go through this. Zavala had 100%, snaps had 77. Jalen Zavala, our guard. Bryce Young had 100% of snaps, 77. Jonathan Mingo had 87% of offensive snaps with 67. So the only rookie that did not get any shine was DJ Johnson. And then Jamie Robinson, he didn't get any on the defensive side, but he got in 14 snaps on special teams. So I want to break down that snap count for you. Also, Brian Burns did speak with the media yesterday in the locker room. So the reason we didn't talk about it yesterday is because in lieu of going into the locker room, we'll immediately set up to go live from the field to give you all the updates and talk to you, because we don't want you guys waiting, especially after a loss. You know, people kind of just tune out. But we do have it for you today. So just keep that in mind. Anything that's kind of breaking that happens right after the game that's locker room specific, we may not have it during our live show, but that's also why we come back for this Monday night show and go live so we can fill in the blanks and also interact with you guys. But Brian Burns did speak with the media last night. He said this time has been extremely hard for him, and he got some advice from his fellow teammate Justin Houston. Just tell him to kind of turn out the noise, you know, just make everything quiet. So I mentioned last week talking to Brian at his locker. And when I say talking, it wasn't a conversation, it was just a few words. He just seemed like he was in this different space. And that kind of explains what space he was in. He was just trying to clear his mind and go through things, has strengthened his relationship with God so he can continue to just grow as a man and be able to deal with things that happen in this world. So he gave honor to God at the start of his interview with the media yesterday in the locker room. And he said he's going to play this season. So that's what he said. He's going to play. And interesting enough, Rocky Santos says Burns getting traded. I haven't heard he's getting traded, but hey, he says he's going to play. So I guess you could say, whether that's with the Panthers or somebody else, he is going to play. A quick snippet I want to play. And C-Dog, I appreciate your patience. Like I said, you jumped on a little quick, but if you hold on, when I get through these few more things, then I'll certainly bring you on and talk with you some more. Let me play a little clip for you. I need to go ahead and get my earpiece in so that I can interact with you guys and there not be feedback. So let me get strapped up. A little hard to do by yourself, but I think I got it. Get my earpiece going. Looks pretty good. You can't see it, right? All right, let me get this going for you really quickly. Let's see. Where did I put it? Hayden Hurst. All right, here we go. So I'm just gonna play just the very beginning of this video. I want to invite everybody to click on my channel, and you should see this video in there. If you don't, you can also click on the channel, click on our playlist, see one-on-one interviews. But I got a chance to sit down with Hayden Hurst Friday prior to the game. Tim Tizzy's going to claim he was the one who told me to do this, which is at press conferences, introduce myself as man of the people. Haven't done it yet in a press conference, but I decided to do it with my man Hayden Hurst. And check out his response. So here you go. My interview with Hayden Hurst. Again, full interview is already on YouTube. Chris Jenkins, a.k.a. Man of the People, joined by Carolina Panthers tight end. You hadn't heard that before, had you?
No. Yeah, man. First time.
Hayden Hurst, thank you for taking the time after practice on a Friday to join me. I'm going to get right into it. I always do this read to break the ice. I don't know how good my source is, but I was told to ask you about driving your car.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what response do you give for that?
Well, I just got, maybe they're talking about my new car that I just got.
You just got a new one?
Yeah, new Escalade.
Okay, you loving it?
I love it. It's my baby. It sits in the garage most of the time. I drive it on game days, but other than that, it's up and away.
Okay, and musician?
Me?
Yeah?
No, sir.
Nope.
I would.
So, yeah, that's just a little clip from my Hayden Hurst interview. Check it out. Hopefully you guys will like it. And again, the reason I ask for the subscribers is because the bigger we grow, the more I can get players and coaches on the show. Nobody likes to be on a show with only one person, 10 people, right? But everybody likes, you know, when they come and speak, that a lot of people get to hear it. So let me go ahead. C-Dog, I appreciate your patience. I'm getting really close to bringing you on. Here's the big announcement that I have, right? And everybody needs to pay careful attention because I think everybody will really, really enjoy this announcement. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers. That's been my goal. That's why you've been seeing so much more content. And so many new things is because I want to earn like your subscription, right? I don't want big guys asking for you to subscribe and like, what am I subscribing to? What am I getting? Well, you're getting a lot of content. And one reason I'll bring this up, my interview with Hayden Hurst, it barely happened. It barely happened. But because of the growth of the channel, they did everything they can to make it happen. It was supposed to be longer than it was, but it still ended up happening, and I had 5 minutes with it. Right, so it helps. Trust me, it helps. So here's what I'm gonna do. If you are watching this channel and you have not subscribed to it, I'm gonna give you a good reason. So here's what we're gonna start doing. We're going to start giving away some paraphernalia. All right. So right here we got a Panthers hoodie. All right, brand new that we're gonna give away. I don't think it has anything on the back. My wife was nice enough to go and pick these up for me today. This is a large. Yeah, so this is a large. Got the little blue inside. So this is something that I'm going to be giving away. That's one of them. It's going to be to subscribers. Until I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to periodically, at least weekly, give away some Panthers gear. All right, here's another one. Another Panthers sweatshirt that I'm going to be giving away. Has a hoodie, black inside. And this one here is a large. In my opinion, these seem like a large. So anyway, that's another item. And I think we got one more thing here that we're going to give away. All right. We got this right here. These things seem to be running large to me, you guys. Let's see. This here's an extra large. And this is a Panthers long sleeve. I don't know, some kind of material kind of thing that I'm going to be giving away. Do I have one more? Do I have one more? I do, but it's the same thing. Extra large Carolina Panthers stuff right there. So I'm gonna give it away. I haven't figured out exactly how, but I can tell you this: at least every week, I'm gonna give away some gear that's Panther stuff, and I'll show you what you're gonna win so that you can know what it is. And right now, I have plenty of sizes to choose from, but probably as we go through the year, it's gonna be, I'm gonna say specifically what piece of merchandise that I'm giving away, so that you know what you're winning. So I'm doing everything I can to earn your subscriptions. Tell your friends about the video, or at least just like the video so other people can see it and find out about all of the stuff that we're giving away. So that's the big announcement. Hopefully you all like that. Let me make sure I'm going through everything. Richardson, Burns, Hayden. There's no injury updates on JC Horn. So let me, without further ado, because I've been talking for about 20 minutes, let me see if I can get this right here. Let me see if I can get this right.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
You didn't fall asleep waiting on me, did you?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm just waiting for you, man. You gotta do your thing, man.
It was
The
light
man of
when
the
you,
people, though.
when
The
you
man of
first
the people.
started. Now it got dark.
Yeah, I'm at work, man, so I cut the light off. That's all.
Oh, yeah, word. Okay, we going to whisper it in and get on to you, man. So, hey, real quick for everybody watching, this is what the show is, okay? Every day after the game, we live. We want to hear from y'all, whether it's a comment or a question. C-Dog is my first one tonight, so, you know what, C-Dog, you want one of them pieces of merchandise I just had up?
I mean, yeah, I mean, of course.
I'll get some more in case you want to wait until there's some other selection. But if you want, I can get you.
Now
one
everything
of those.
look good, man.
Which
That blue one, that blue and black one, dope, man.
the blue and black one. Let's see.
Yeah.
The blue and black
That's
one
tough.
is a large.
That's
and
a
again,
large.
these things look a little large. To me, this really looks like an extra large. But it
Nah,
says
look, that's tight.
on the sticker that's a large. That's what you want.
That's tight right there.
You'll take it.
Yeah, that's tight.
All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it to this side
Yes,
here.
sir.
Make sure you DM me, email me, cjenkins@charlottevibe.com, whatever, so I can get your address, so I can get that out to you.
Yes,
now, y'all
sir.
want to subscribe
Real
to the
quick,
channel,
man.
Go ahead. You at work? I'm sorry. I'm getting excited.
Oh yeah. But real quick, man, I didn't get to see you, man, 'cause I know your time is limited while you was in Atlanta and everything. But being at the game yesterday, I was very disappointed, man, with the play calling. Then like Bryce Young, I mean, for my first time seeing Bryce Young in person, I was just kind of disappointed. Man, he had 2 turnovers. Then I mean, like my biggest worry is does he have a strong enough arm to throw the deep ball? Because I mean, he missed Mingo. Mingo wide open on a double move, wide open. I'm talking about if he could have got Mingo the ball, it would have been a touchdown. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. This is the first game. I'm not too confident right now. And then the play calling was vanilla. Like Frank White, to me, is trash. Frank White need to let Thomas Brown call the plays. But Frank White can't call no offense. I mean, you brought in Thomas Brown for the Rams. He's younger. He's more innovative with the play calling. Let Thomas Brown call the plays. All that old school stuff ain't gonna work. It's a different game now. You got to open the playbook up. That's another thing too. I feel like Frank White is hindering Bryce Young with his play calling. But we're gonna see, man. I was happy that Brian Burns did play. But then he didn't have really had no impact plays after the halftime, like third quarter, fourth quarter. Where was Brian Burns? So that's why I say Brian Burns isn't worth 25 a year. Not to me, he ain't. I give him like 23.5 for a contract. But for anything over 25, he can't get it because he's not consistent. He's not a game breaker, a game changer,
Okay.
and everything. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't want to take up all the time, but that
No,
was just my quick thoughts on the game, man. And then on top of that, man, I mean the Falcons. The Falcons only threw the ball 18 times. I want to say they've been rid of like 15 for 18. They basically came out and just ran the ball down our throats. And once we play a team that can throw the ball and run the ball, we're gonna be in trouble. But we're gonna see.
what's your expectations for this team for the season?
After yesterday, man, I say we win about 5-6 games. I mean, if we could have kept DJ Moore, we would have been all right. And then J.C. Horn gets hurt the first play. I mean, like the first quarter. Like right now, to me, J.C. Horn is a bust. He's an injury bust. He's top 10 if if you stay healthy, but he can't stay healthy. And then we let Keith Taylor walk. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do if Dante Jackson gets hurt and we just stuck with C.J. Henderson. Like I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what Frank White is doing. Then like you just said, they cut Keith Thurman, but he played in the game yesterday. Same thing how they cut McCall before the season started. But he supposed to be starting nose tackle. And one more beef I got with defense. Man, they had Derek Brown playing in the defensive end in the 3-4 defense. Derek Brown is a nose tackle in the 3-4 defense. So I'm just very concerned about this defense, And Von Bell getting beat at the end of the game, that pass to Kyle Pitts. Like, come on, man. Like, you supposed to be a veteran. You supposed to be better than that. That's why we brought you in here. But you look at his teammate, Jesse Bates, was making plays all over the field against us. But we'll see, man.
We'll see.
We'll see, Chris.
I appreciate it. Hey, you said, did you see me at the game yesterday? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. I seen you. Yes, sir. I was in section 312 in row 3.
Oh. Yeah, hey, so yeah, if you guys ever see me on a Sunday, please, you're always welcome to speak. But of course, if it's a game day, probably got to keep it brief because we're trying to run to get to some places. But, certainly don't mind a little what's up, and I'll give you a dap up as well. But appreciate you coming on, man. I'm going to touch on those comments.
That what's up, man.
All
Keep
right,
doing your
take it
thing, man. Chris, it's always the man of the people, man. Keep doing great work, Chris.
I'm trying. Thank you so much, C-Dog.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a great day today. Peace out.
All right, so I see I got 2 other people that are in the green room, so I'm going to get to you guys in just a second. Also, remember, super chats are welcome and greatly appreciated and helpful for this channel as we are independent media. So, C-Dog is one of passionate guys, as so many Panther fans are. Touched on a few things. One thing was Bryce Young and his arm. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he does have the arm to get it downfield. He certainly has the arm to get it downfield. And I think the one that you're talking about to DJ Mingo that he missed, it was when they were at the 1 yard line and he was wide open and he just didn't throw it accurately. He actually overthrew him. So I think some of that could be a little bit of nerves, right? I mean, just a little bit of touch. But I feel like with Bryce, he just hadn't had the reps yet where he can get really accustomed to all of his guys. Because in training camp, the guy that he hit the most often, the most frequently, was DJ Chark, and Chark didn't play yesterday. So I feel like a lot of the things that we are not happy about could be fixed with some time and some cohesion. Now, if somebody gets into the separation from the wide receivers, no, you can't really fix that too much because they are who they are at this point in terms of our wide receiver speed. So you may have to do other things to get them open and some separation. But let me see if there's one other thing that he had mentioned that I want to touch on before I move on to my other people that are waiting. Didn't like the play calling, and also talked about how things changed in the second half. I said yesterday, and I'm going to be transparent with you guys, I have not had a chance to go back and look at the film, which is a must as a journalist to have some further analysis because you can't watch everything the first time. In the press box, we don't have the luxury of seeing replays like you may at home on TV. But it was definitely a tale of two halves, which I feel like was a result of cohesive coaching. The coaching staff for Atlanta's been together for a minute. The coaching staff for Carolina has not. I feel like they went into the locker room, said, hey, we're going to do this, because they're doing that. Came out, different ball game. Carolina Panthers didn't have a chance to do that. So let me go ahead and continue to move on. And T-Dog, please don't forget to contact me so I can shoot you in the mail this Panthers shirt, all right? Thank you so much. Let's continue to move on to my man, Shaq. Thank you for patiently waiting, man.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you doing? I'm sure you're mad. What's your blood pressure like today?
Well, Phelps, by the way, the short look very nice. Don't look very nice, and I'm a size large, extra large, so whichever.
Oh, you're putting in your order request?
Why not manifesting it? And
I like it.
okay, not a big deal. But anyway, as far as the game, I mean, let's be honest. We lost to a team, realistically, is not better than us. That is what frustrates. I mean, it could always be worse. We could be the Giant, losing 40-0 in prime time NBC. But I mean, realistically, we lost to a team that is not better than us. I mean, Desmond Ridder, honestly, is not better than average Division I or Division II college starting football. I mean, Drake May right now is much better at UNC than Desmond Ridder. But here's the deal. I mean, we look at the turnover, fumble, and I mentioned yesterday that Andre forgot about it. That fumble by Miles Sanders, we basically waited and waited and waited until the Falcons had a chance to watch the replay and throw the challenge flags. I mean, it should be clear. If even by a percentage, 1%, you think it's a fumble, you go ahead and you snap the ball. You don't wait 5 to 10 seconds to allow the team to watch the replay and decide to challenge it. Because if you watch that play, we weren't in a hurry to snap the ball. And that is definitely on Frank Wright and Bryce Young and the entire offense. You have to understand the situation, and you don't allow the opponent to have a chance to review the play. You don't. I mean, if you snap the ball, that fumble doesn't happen. So you have to realize that. And the other thing that I'm surprised no one asked him at the press conference today, the 4-1 play. I don't mind being aggressive, and I like it. But here's the deal. You know that you have run the ball consistently with your running back, basically the entire drive. Why not run a bootleg? Have everyone try to tackle the running back, have Bryce Young quarterback keeper from where we were. It could have been a design run touchdown. I remember a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember it, Chris, 2015, the Seahawks game, 4th and 1, in the great season in Seattle, 4th and 1. Everyone anticipate we are going to run it with the running back, St. Jonathan Stewart. Instead, Cam Newton kept the ball, and later on we scored a touchdown with Greg Olsen. Now, sure, Cam Newton is 6'5", Bryce Young is 5'10", so there is a difference. But we saw yesterday when Bryce Young escaped out of the pocket and pick up a big chunk of yard with his leg, he's not a slow quarterback. So it would have been great, at least on that particular play, to call a quarterback design, because they are not going to anticipate it. If they are and they make a stop, great. But you know that on 4th and 1, you either run a sneak, they are going to stop it, or you call a run right to the middle. So that is very disappointing. And what also disappointing is the Panthers hire coaching staff who was supposed to be home run out of the park. But the Sea Dogs stated and others stated the play calling yesterday wasn't good. And the final thing, Brian Burns, second half, was a non-factor. Derek Brown in the second half was a non-factor. Why? Because the Falcons make adjustment. So if they make adjustment, you have to respond. We did not. I mean, if they double team Brian Burns on the right, maybe switch him around, maybe switch Derek Brown around. But you have to do something. If something doesn't work, you have to make an adjustment. And yesterday, we saw basically the same thing, which is frustrating because realistically, we are better than the Falcons. Even in a rebuilding team, we are much better than they are. But as Ron Rivera used to say, and John Fox used to say, it is what it is.
I thought you were going to say missed opportunities.
Missed opportunity, what it is. I mean, at least it's not as bad as the Pepsi clown in Nebraska who's 0-2, worrying about his Pepsi. But I mean, it's unacceptable how we played yesterday, the 3 turnovers, not doing a good enough job until down against the run. Keep running the same play again and again. It really yesterday, we shot ourselves in the foot. It wasn't that we lost to a better team than we are. We just committed too many mistakes. And we didn't make a judgment.
I had to give you the horn, man. You're at your time. Hey, appreciate you coming on. So yeah, I have the horn. I hope you guys can. How well can you guys hear the horn? By the way, let's see. Can you guys hear that horn pretty decently? So that's the horn that we're gonna have to play once we get to about the 5-minute mark. Because I want to make sure I be able to get to as many guests as I can, because that is the whole point of the show. By the way, Shaquille God of Blackness says dope accent. He liked your accent. And then Litter Kowalski said, I always think a naked bootleg on 4th and 1 would most likely be successful. I used to see Doug Flutie do that frequently. So appreciate you, Leonard. I'm about to come to you next. I don't know how to say your name, so I'm going to let you say it. I'm always ready to bring you in. I'm just going to say TD is what I'm going to nickname you for a second here. But before I get to the next person that's waiting patiently in the green room, got to give a big shout out to our super chats. God of Blackness says, when the regional echo chamber of journalists say, pay that man regarding Burns, how much is the price tag for him among journalists? Is the number near Bosa, Garrett, or lower? All right. I wish my co-host Andre Cassidy was here, because he's been on that dollar amount more than I have. So a little bit of this comes down to this, God of Blackness. It's not so much how good is Brian Burns compared to Nick Bosa? That's kind of like how you would naturally go to think about it. Because, I mean, hey, where do you rank? Okay, this is where we're going to pay you. But in the NFL, it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. The way it most commonly works in the NFL is if you're the next best player, in that top tier, and it's time for you to sign a new contract, then you're going to get right up underneath the person that was signed previously to you. And I guarantee you, honestly, if this was next season, Brian will probably be trying to get the exact same thing that Bosa's getting, because you're always trying to get right at that level. It just keeps going up and up and up. That's the only way that we got to Nick Bosa getting up. I forget off the top of my head if it's 32, 35 million. So I feel like what Brian may be worth from just how the NFL operates, probably wanting to get more like 28. That's what I'm thinking. It's and then the guaranteed money. Geez, I should have looked at this before I came online so I can remember off the top of my head. I think I forget, so I won't even go to talk about the guaranteed money because I really want to talk mostly on facts when I talk. But yeah, that's what I think. Will it happen? I can't even say, because I tapped out of trying to figure this thing out last week when there was, he's practicing, he's not practicing, then they tell the media that he did practice, and it's like the session of practice that was open to us, it looks like he's doing absolutely nothing, just sitting down on the cart. So then he travels with the team, then he plays, then he says he's going to continue to play this season. So it's, what Brian did say was that he's going to talk more about it once things continue to materialize, but for now he would just kind of left it blank and only saying that he wanted to continue to play and he will continue to play. God bless. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate it very much. Now for the next person that was patiently waiting, very, very patiently waiting. How do I say the name? What do you want me to call you?
It's Traddy Dad, or Traditional Dad. It's Traddy is a nickname for traditional.
I didn't know, so I was very cautious about
Yeah,
saying
just
that. I like traditional.
that's all right. That's all right. It's sounds exactly like it's spelled.
Hey, first time caller. I don't think I've seen you in the video before, so I want to say sincerely thank you for joining me tonight for the first time.
Of course. I've been trying to catch you live. I just your times don't match up with my schedule. That's all it is.
Oh, well, glad we matched up tonight. What do you got?
Well, a couple things. One, with the I was watching the snap counts, or looking at the snap counts today, and we're trying to be a run first team. At least that's what everybody thinks we're supposed to do, and I would agree with that. But looking at the snap counts, it looked like we were lining up in much more spread offense than multiple tight end sets, which is strange if we're trying to be a run first team. We're not using our tight ends hardly at all. So I wonder what you were thinking about that, lining up in multiple receiver sets as opposed to big sets if we're going to be running the ball. And then the other thing was, there were a few situations where we had quick possessions, or like 3-and-out possessions, because we were throwing the ball like bang, 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 and we weren't even trying to run it. One example will be we were pinned back on our own goal line from that, I believe it was from that horse collar penalty that was kind of confusing. Yeah. We just threw the ball like 3 times in a row. We didn't even try to run it, which I thought was kind of strange. If we're going to be a run-first team, it looked like in run situations we were opting to pass, and we would just go incomplete, and have to punt the ball away. Just wondering what you were thinking about that.
Yeah, did you have anything else? Or what was your two questions?
Another thing would be, as they were referring to in the fourth and short situation and other situations like that, it would look like we have short yardage situations and we'd line up against a loaded defense and we wouldn't try to audible out of it or anything. We just run straight into it. And my comment on that would be, I think Bryce is just too fresh to audible out of it or make a check or something. Maybe he doesn't have authority to do that, or maybe he just doesn't really know what to check to. But it seemed like there were a few situations like that. We had short yardage and they were loading the box, knowing we were going to run it. We just ran right into the teeth of the defense instead of opting to something else. That was all I got.
Hey, I like that last one because I would like to ask around on that one. I do tell people, like, after the game, I usually like to watch the film again. I haven't had a chance to do so with getting back to Charlotte, so I'm a little behind the ball and being able to answer all the analytical stuff from the game. But I will say this, in terms of that run first and the formations that you were seeing, that was an issue. I don't know why it was almost like both teams flip flopped, right? Like the Falcons were running the ball good, the Panthers were running the ball good, but both teams started to get away
Yeah.
from it at some points, and the Falcons were able to still be okay and come out successful in the game because we just had too many turnovers. We had 3 turnovers, and they're scoring off
Right.
of our turnovers. And of course, I'm not one to go back
Yes.
and say, well, if this didn't happen, we would have won. Because in every sport, if something didn't happen, the other team would have won for some reason. So what happened is what happened.
Yeah.
3 turnovers. I think they got 17 points out of that. But we threw the ball, and I didn't even realize this when I was watching the game, 38 times. It makes absolutely no sense when you were getting such results. I think we were averaging pretty much close to 5 yards per carry running the ball.
Yeah.
We had a lot
Yeah.
of
Chuba was
time.
doing really good. Sanders
Yeah.
was around 4, but still, you run for 4 yards 3 times, you have a first down. So,
Yeah. And I don't know if this coaching staff, and really it was a tale of two halves for so many things, right? Because we were doing well with the play calling and pretty balanced in that first half, but things just went awry in that second half, which is when we were really pass heavy. And I don't get it because it's not like we were instantly down by 21 points, 28 points. I mean, we first just went down by 1 touchdown and still had plenty of time. And then technically, when we were down by 2
and then
touchdowns,
even,
it wasn't like it was 2 minutes to go in the game, right?
and then
So
even after the turnovers, we still didn't have to throw. Like, we weren't down by multiple possessions. We had to score quickly. We were still only down by 3 or 7 points. But at the same, and like y'all were saying in y'all's post game show, we switched to the pass. Like, we weren't running near as often, but we didn't have to. We weren't down big. We were only down by 1 possession, but we did kind of get away from the run. But at the same time, like, if you look at the snap counts, we were lining up in spread offenses the whole game. Like, we were running out of shotgun. We weren't running out of big formations like power running at all. And I'm just curious to see, going through the next 2 or 3 games, if that's something that continues. We're just running a spread offense the whole game, whether we're in running situations or not. Because even on that 4th and short, we were in pistol. We didn't even line up in a power formation then. It's like we were completely avoiding any power formations at all. So I thought that was very interesting to see.
all right, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna go ahead and get you off here so I can continue to line up the other people. Good to meet you, man. Hopefully you'll come on some more as well.
You too, Chris. God bless.
All right, God bless you. So a few things, and then I see I got one more person, Knucklehead K, waiting in the green room, and let's see, we got about 15 more minutes. So if anybody else wants to jump in, anyone else wants to super chat, really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. So I hope that everybody's getting used to this rhythm of what we want to do with our shows being live and interactive. We want you to come on and talk to us, especially on our day after show, day after game shows. And we're also going to do it pre-game and post-game as well. There'll probably be a lot shorter periods because we have so much transitioning to do when we're at the game to cover the game and bring it to you. But I feel like I'm about to forget one of his questions that we were just talking about. So the 3 and out you spoke about after the turnover, after the punt, and after the horse collar, which left us with the ball on the 1. I don't know what's going on, people. I really liked the first play call that they had with Bryce to Jonathan Mingo. I think that showed a lot of confidence in Bryce Young. I think it was a great call because most defenses aren't going to expect the rookie quarterback that's short, that's on the 1 yard line, to come out and throw the ball deep. And it was a great play, and Jonathan Mingo was wide open, and he overthrew it. Well, then what pursued next was more pass plays, and we really didn't get anywhere. I mean, we moved the ball a little bit, but we still didn't advance it too much. And I just don't understand, don't know why that they did not attempt to do more running of the ball and try to throw the ball as much as they did. They were going to what I felt like were timing routes. The routes in that second half were much more of a timing route than just a slant or in or other routes where the timing doesn't have to be so crisp for completions, and they were missing them. And then receivers weren't open, and Bryce started getting hit more in the second half, also because of the amount of pressure that he was getting due to nobody being open. So I don't think it'll continue. I really do. Where I do have confidence with things being turned around is that it was the first game, right? So maybe even though coaches may have been told, hey, I need your input, I want this, it was the first game, right? And maybe things just weren't as aligned and in accord with the coaches to get things changed. But hopefully, oh, Kate, where'd you go? I had somebody that was in the green room that left. Hopefully you'll be able to come back before I get off of here, because you were next up. Knucklehead, I think, was the name. Knucklehead K, perhaps. So, there we go, coming back. All right, so Knucklehead K is back. I'm going to get to you in just a second. But I feel like I have confidence because there's a lot of veterans. There's a lot of proven men in different positions and women on the staff. And I feel like they may be talking through that now and saying, okay, yeah, maybe I should have spoke up more, or maybe I should have went and did this, but I don't want to step away. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I just feel like with the group of talent that we have in that coaching staff, that somebody's going to see these things and point them out. I just would find it extremely difficult to believe that you have the coaching staff that you have, the coordinators that you have, the assistant coaches that you have, and nobody's going to be like, hey, I looked at the film and saw this, and be afraid to make their point and get that across. All right, let's see if I got this right here, because you have patiently waited. We getting some gas? What are we doing right now?
I'm getting some fuel. You actually got perfect timing. I just finished driving.
I like perfect timing. I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, first I want to say you and Andre looked sharp yesterday, boy. Y'all had them suits on. Y'all look real good. You know what I'm saying? I was watching it while I was traveling, and I was like, oh, man, they out here doing the thing. But sorry if you already answered. Huh?
I appreciate it. I'm in a t-shirt right now, and I'm in a t-shirt most of training camp because it's so hot, but it felt good to get the suit back on. I think my man Dion said you look good, you play good, so for me, I felt like, looking good, we'd be able to bring you all a good show yesterday, so thank you very much.
You know it. I jumped in kind of late because, like I said, I just finished driving. However, how long do you feel like Brian Burns' situation will continue, like as far as the contract? And do you think it's going to affect his play at all?
So no, I have not been asked that question about Brian Burns, and I will attempt to answer. So as far as how long, the one thing I have said, and I like to be real honest when I feel like I know something, I feel like I don't know something. I don't feel like I have a good grasp on the Brian Burns situation for what's going to happen. When it first started happening, I had some ideas. I mean, I actually thought that when Bosa signed his contract, I really felt like within 24 hours that Brian Burns would have had his.
I thought the same thing.
I mean, that's really what I felt, because that's what everybody was waiting for. Set the market. He's wanted to stay close to the team. So I felt like they might have, even on both sides, been like, hey, let's just go ahead and table this till Bosa sign, and then we'll finish the negotiation. So when that didn't happen, and then things kind of further went the directions that they had, I just don't have a good feel for it. Brian yesterday said that he's going to play. So when he says that he's going to play, right now I feel like he will. So I feel like he's going to continue to play. Now, could he possibly be involved in a trade if he's just wanting too much money? I feel like that's something that could happen, but I feel like he's going to play. He's not going to skip playing, and that his level of play is going to be pretty superb, because he's still playing for a contract, right? He's still a madman. You saw how he came out yesterday in the beginning of the game. I don't see that changing with him. He practices hard. He's an intense guy. He's fun when he's off the field. But when he's on the field, he's definitely that guy.
I feel like if they keep letting him play like that, they're going to owe them more money than what they could have got, as far as doing the contract before now.
Could he play himself into more money? I feel like he. Let's see. I'm trying to think through this, and I haven't been too good at it so far. But if he has not signed, then he wants more money. And if Fitterer isn't giving him more money up until this point, will he ever really want to give him the money? Will Fitterer kind of just go to say, if I'm a GM, my biggest thing is I don't want you to hold out. Right now, he's not holding out. He said that he's going to play.
Okay.
Right? So if he's going to play and I don't want to pay him the money, I'm going to let him continue to play. And then I'm just going to sit and wait and take some phone calls and also see how much people will be willing to give me for this guy. Right? Because I'm also seeing that I have some other needs. I see that I need another wide receiver with some speed. I see that I might need some depth at the secondary because J.C. Horn keeps getting hurt. And I might feel like, yeah, I might not be able to replace Brian Burns, but I could get somebody that's sufficient, somebody that's still good, and build some other parts of this team that's a weak link. That's a thought.
I don't know, man. I think they lost it last year when they didn't get them 2 first-round picks for that dude, man. This is contract year. Ain't nobody gonna give you 2 first-round picks and still pay him,
Yeah.
especially not having a first-round pick this year.
Okay. Any other comments or thoughts that you have you want to share before you got off?
No, I'm good. That was the only question I had. I didn't know if you had answered that or not. I just wanted your opinion on it. I appreciate you taking the call and being a man of the people.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time. I hope to see you again and drive safely out there.
We'll do. I appreciate you. Have a good one, everybody.
All right. Okay. All right. I forget. I said it yesterday. All right. Who says that? But anyway, we're back. We got about 5 more minutes in case anybody wants to jump back on. Let me go ahead and jump back to these comments. See if I got some things that I hadn't touched on yet that you all want me to talk about. Looks like you guys have been having some good conversations in the chat that I have been missing. Eric Schaefer said, Bryce having issues throwing far. I hope he starts throwing to Sanders. Hurst more for short yards so we can get clicking with the wide receivers for deep throws. Also, offensively, we are lacking weapons. So, Eric Schaefer, who is, I forget what it's called, but your picture is a plug for a washer or a dryer. I like it. Yeah, Bryce needs to get his timing down. It's not does he have the arm strength kind of thing. It's just the timing thing that he needs to get with his other wide receivers that he doesn't have yet. Something that he can develop to get. And meanwhile, yeah, he's going to have to hit Hurst, hit Sanders, hit, I was going to say Chuba, but Chuba doesn't have the best hands coming out the backfield. But they're going to have to change it up a little bit. And they got an extra day to do it this week because they played New Orleans on a Monday night. So they will get an extra day to work some things out. And Coach today, and speaking with the media, did say that they're subpar in the passing game. He said that it's not good enough in the passing game. He said they didn't have any chunk plays, no big plays down the field. So I do like the fact that Coach Frank Wright did mention that there are some things lacking, and then to say, yeah, everything looked well, something was mine. No, he said the subpar wasn't good enough. On the defense, he spoke about that the tackling wasn't the best, and it wasn't the best. My guy Dante Jackson missed several tackles, and man, I got a picture that's a great picture, but it's such a telling story. Let me see if I can find this photograph really quick from the game to share with you all. Let's see. Give me a second. I want you all to tell me what's telling about this picture. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Did I delete the picture? Oh man, I feel like I done deleted the picture or something, which would be strange. Oh, no, here we go. Tell me what's telling about this picture right here. I know there's a little bit of a delay from when I put the image up to when you all see it, so I'm just going to talk for a minute until you all see it, and we'll probably end on this. What is telling of this picture in the game from yesterday. Great photograph by our guy Patrick Snyder. Great photograph. What's telling? In the background, you have Carolina Panthers, Frankie Louvu. In the background, you also have Carolina Panthers, Shaq Thompson. In the background, you also had Carolina Panthers, Von Bell. What do you think happened? So this is telling because on this picture, it was just a little flare out pass to Robinson, and Louvu didn't wrap up. Shaq didn't get a good wrap up, and Bell was a little bit behind. Not as in good a position, but Bell couldn't make the tackle, and he avoids all three of these guys and scores. So tackling was a little bit of a challenge yesterday, something that the Carolina Panthers need to improve on for sure. Need to improve on for sure. God of Blackness says, 2 dummies on the ground. Don't do them like that, God of Blackness. Eric Schaefer said, is that Robinson TD? Yeah, dude's not trying to grab the legs. Went for his waist. Yeah, that was the Robinson TD. One that to me should not have been a TD. Appreciate everybody so much for tuning in and watching. As always, I like to say, man of the people, I work for you all, supported 100% by your donations, contributions, and you join into the channel. So everybody that does when they can, I appreciate it. Like the video. Please like the video every time you watch it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and helps us grow a lot. The bigger we grow, the more that we can do for you. So next up, New Orleans Saints, Monday night in Charlotte. This week I'm going to be doing my thing in the locker room. So if there's something that you want to hear, something that you want me to ask a player, something that you want me to ask a coach, let me know. Myself and Andre will do our best to get those questions asked and bring them right back to you. So for Andre Cassidy, who couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, but will absolutely be here next week, I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. We'll see you soon.